I'm Butch Jones from Detroit, off of Dexter, West Side, Dexter, Monterey, born and raised. Went all around the world representing Detroit in the Fed system.
All right, Butch. My question is, how long you been home and what you finna do for Detroit to give back?
Well, I've been home going on 2 months, and what I'm gonna do for Detroit is I'm gonna try to bring them youngsters together and stop all that unnecessary killing and get these guns off the street. Because if we come together, we'll be a real powerful city, man. We already powerful, but we just got to come together, and that's what I need Detroit to do. And I'm here for anybody that wanna talk to me and reach out and whatever. If I could just save one, I'd have saved a million. You know, so I'm gonna do my part.
And I want to let you know, man, that I thank you, man, for wanting me through magic to do the first podcast with you since you've been home.
Yeah.
Um, I'm just glad to meet you, man, and it's a wonderful pleasure with me and Rock sitting here doing a podcast show with you through magic,
Well,
brother. And we just
it's,
thank you, man, for just lighting Detroit up over the years.
well, I thank you for your support and for you giving me the opportunity, you know, for me to let people know that I'm here, I'm back. I love Detroit, love my city, and it's gonna be everything positive with me.
Right, right. And that's a good thing, man. We just want you to know, man, we here for you, man. Bird TV, man. Tip his hat off to you, man, for doing the thing. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, man. Me, I survived off your genius. That's why I'm here today. Cause everything you put forth before me, I came right behind you and did what I had to do to survive. I'm not proud of what I was doing, but I thank you for setting that trap for me to keep doing what I was doing. And I thank you, my brother. I do.
Oh, no doubt. And I thank you on the same token and giving me this opportunity and believing in me. Because a lot of people counted me out. They just couldn't count. And
Well, Butch, I got
I,
a couple of questions to ask you, man.
all right.
I, you know, I before I even got to this with magic, I was looking at a lot of your stories on YouTube, man. You're a brilliant, educated, smart guy, man. How can you make 100,000 in 2 hours? What was your mindset to come up to do that in Detroit, Michigan?
Well, I had the product to do that. I had one of the strongest grades of heroin in the world, and it was called the number four grade of heroin mixed with a number three, by the way, coming from Bangkok, Thailand. And at that particular time, didn't too many people had that plug, and I was lucky to have that kind of plug with one of my good friends, and we still friends as of today. And they call him S Man, and I met S Man through my very best friend, Milwaukee Jack.
Okay. Oh man, no, we understand, brother. I know. I heard about Milwaukee Jack too. I was reading somewhere in your book that's a close guy to you. Can you give me a little history on him?
Yeah, man. Me and Jack go back to the '70s when they had first opened up City Slicker Shoes down there with Wayne Pittman, and I went down there one day and bought some gators. Jack had a Benz at that particular time. And really, wasn't too many people driving Benzes in Detroit. Him and Walter Kasson was the only two people that I knew at that particular time. So me and Jack friendship went back since then, and he was my original plug. And he introduced me to S Man, which me and S Man is like brothers. I love him to death.
Okay, that's what's up,
And
man.
Jack was a hell of a guy, man. He stayed sharp. He was a real gentleman. Anytime we went out to eat, I would try to pay for something, and he would say, "No, your money ain't no good." He would
Wow.
always pay for everything, and I learned a lot from this man, being, because he took me up on his wing. And like I say, he was a first class gentleman. We got stopped at the airport one time. I had sent this girl out of town, um, to Oakland, California, to meet another friend of mine called Felix Mitchell. And so when we was waiting in the airport, the DEA was in the airport, and so they pulled me and Jack and took us to this room, and so I give him my ID, Jack give him his IG and everything. So they asked for Jack's social security number. Jack say, I don't have no social security number. So the man, he was like, well, everybody got a social security number. He said, you don't know your social security number? Jack say, I never had a job. He said, he said, no, I don't know my social security number because I never had a job, you know. And I was shocked when he told these people that, and it was true because he came from Milwaukee. He had never worked a day in his life and kept a bankroll. I got locked up in '82, and I came home in '92. Jack gave me $100,000 when I came home. He was that type of guy, and he had kept $1 million on his bed for this guy called Eddie Jackson. At that particular time, Eddie Jackson was the biggest dope man in Detroit had ever seen. So anyway, to make a story short, that Jack was always in my corner. All that time I was gone, he would go by my house and check on my kids and pay all the bills. He would go there, he'd pay all the bills, make sure they had groceries, everything. And this was every month, for 10 years.
Right, right.
This this the kind of friend he was. And that's why I kind of get my loyalty from him, because he showed me how to be a real friend, you know. And anybody that know him, they'll tell you he was one of a kind type of type of dude, top gentleman, man,
Right,
you know. And I considered, I was glad to be one of his considered friends,
right.
you know. And that's how me and S man is today. You know, S stay in my corner and I stay in his corner. He called me all the time, send me spiritual stuff to listen to. And like I said, I don't have that many friends left like that, you know. Me and my co-defendant, his name Raymond Candy, he been in my life, and me and him is like brothers. I'm older than him, but he grew up around older people, so he act just like my age. I talk to him every single day, and ain't nothing we don't talk about. You know.
Okay. And I got some more questions, Butch, and I want to take my time with these questions. Who was the baddest lawyer you ever had?
Oldest Culpepper, hands down.
Wow. Is it true that you bought him a car? I want you to explain this to the public because I don't want the public think it's coming from me. I want it to come from your stomach. Can you tell the public what kind of car you bought him?
Yeah, I had bought him a Rolls Royce, but this is how it happened. I was down in the Brewster Projects at the pool hall at Red George's pool hall, and I was down there with my other co-defendant. His name Papa Dupree. He done passed away. Papa Dupree was the guy that introduced me to the Brewster Projects. I met Papa in 1974 in the county jail. Me and him was the only one that had silk underwear on. Anyway, I got in a fight down there 'cause somebody tried to take my breakfast. 'Cause they call it, if you snooze, you lose. So I didn't get up for breakfast. Motherfucker got my breakfast, and I bust him up. Depths running there, and they took me to the hole. So anyway, when I got sentenced to 7.5 to 15 for a manslaughter case that I called in Highland Park, Papa had got sentenced to 7.5 to 15 for killing her man down there in the Brewster projects. Anyway, we end up together in Ionia in Gladiator School, and we just became best friends. So anyway, to make a long story short, I come home, he come home. Um, I'm down in the projects, doing my thing, and he was doing the opposite thing of what I was doing. I was doing dog food. He was doing something else. So I'm down there in the pool hall with him, and he get into an argument with a dude. And everywhere I went down there, I stayed strapped. I had 30 people with me, and we all was like that. All of us was from Dexter. So he get into it with the dude. He beat the dude. Papa was real good with his hands. He was like a golden glove champion. You know, so he beat the dude up. Okay, then. So I'm watching Papa's back. It's just I'm like that. Like I say, when I consider somebody my friend, that's what it is with me. So he beat the dude up. The dude go to his car. Papa and turns his back. He going back into the pool room, but I'm watching this dude. Dude go in there and get two guns out the car. So when he grabbed the guns, he acted and made me react. So I had a 357 Python on me. So when he grabbed the guns, Papa don't see him. I light the dude up. Bam, 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 bam. So okay then, um, dude lay down there, and I forget this dude's name. He's like, "Come on, Butch, come on, let's get out of here before the police come." So I tell my crew they down in the loop in the Bruce. Anybody know about the Bruce projects? It had like a loop. So I tell them, I said, I'm going to the house. So I go to the house. I tell Keith, that's my cousin. I tell him to go back down to the projects and hold it down. I said, I just had to lay somebody down for Papa Dupree. So okay then. So I stayed on the run for about 90 days, and the police ran in on me on the house. I had a little house on Barrett on the east side. So they run in on me and Momo. We the only ones in the house. And I had been telling Momo, I say, if the police ever question you, all you just tell them your name, who your lawyer is. Your lawyer, Otis Culpepper. And so anyway, police come in and get me. I had about 150,000 in the house. They come in and confiscated the money, and so they got Momo outside trying to question him. And I didn't hear this from Momo or nothing. I heard this from Culpepper told me because the police that was out of Squad 6. They was in charge of the investigation. They had two homicide squads. Well, they had three homicide squads at the time. So squad 5, 6, and 7. So Momo tell him my name Momo, Otis Culpepper is my lawyer. So I catch the case. I stay down in the county jail for about 6 months fighting the case. I had Culpepper come down and represent me. I couldn't get no bond or nothing like that. Okay then. So we go to trial. And Culpepper's he not a motion lawyer or nothing like that. He's a trial lawyer. He's good at cross examining people and telling them make them basically say what he want them to say. So to make a long story short, I had a jury trial and I get a not guilty verdict. And I had told him in the course of that 6 months, I said, man, if you beat this murder case for me, I'm gonna buy you a Rolls Royce. I said, you a bad motherfucker, Carl Pepper. If you beat this motherfucker case, because I had about 10 people testifying on me that had seen what I did down there in front of the pool room. So okay then, the jury come back with a not guilty verdict. Oh man, I'm happy in a motherfucker, man. I have been buying cars from this guy called Jim Shea on the east side. He 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 sold it foreign cars. So I'm in this foreign cars because I told you the Milwaukee Jack was driving foreign cars in the '70s. You know, him and my other friend Walter Case on. So okay then, he beat the case the next day because I'm true to my word, Bird. I go down there and cash him out. Bought him trying to think of the name of this Rolls Royce. It was like it was a shadow, a silver shadow Rolls Royce. There you go. And I cashed him out same day. I said, man, come up here and get your car. And man, he was so happy, man. He was he was so happy. I'm happy that this guy got me my freedom because I'm thinking I'm looking at a life sentence because they've been trying to book me. You see what I'm saying? So okay then. So that's how that story went about the Rolls Royce. It's all documented. Matter of fact, I caught a income tax case. Me and Carl Pepper, we cut a tax case behind that because he didn't pay taxes on the Rolls Royce, and there was a separate indictment. Just me and him was on, and I got 4 years out of that for buying the Rolls Royce. Carl Pepper.
That's the biggest gang in the government.
Yeah,
They want their piece of everything.
yeah, and that he had beat many cases for me and my he beat the case for Keithon. That was he was because Keithon was on the run, and he always stayed with me. That's my first cousin, by the way. And yeah, excuse me, man.
Take
I
your
wear my
time, brother.
feelings. I wear my feelings on my shoulders about people I care about and I love. And I love my cousin to death. He loved me the same way, you know. But anyway, he always stayed with me, always had my back. Any kind of shootout I was in, he'd be the first one in and the last one out the door. You know, he had he had more heart than me. Yeah. And at this time he wasn't weighing but about 120 pounds. And had the heart of a tiger. He was my man. He learned a lot of stuff from my oldest brother, Big Shot. He passed away. He got killed in the stick up, you know. But anyway, yeah, that's how that Rolls Royce went, man. I drove it one time. Um, I went and got it. They had 20 grand was open, and it was about 60 of us. We had all the cars, and we rode through Highland Park. Well, I had a house in Highland Park, and we rode through Highland Park. And at this time, this guy named Skip Mays, he had Highland Park on lockdown, and he was the biggest guy out of Highland Park at that time. But we rode past Skip and everything. It was like a parade and everything. I'm leading the parade with the Rolls Royce, and everybody else was behind me. You know, I always had a lot of cars, man. I had um, I had about 5 or 6 cars at one time, and I had a Mercedes, a Porsche, a Jaguar, 3, 4 vets. I had my own vet. My wife had a vet, and my ex-wife and this girl named Tamara. She was down with me, and I had bought her a vet. She was out the Brewster Projects too. And when we went down there, she was the girl that was getting us different apartments. that we could stay in, sit in while we rode down there. We had somewhere to keep them bundles and stuff. I would go down there with 1,000 bundles, you know, and it was bundles of 12, and the runners was keeping them tops. So people that was running for me was making 1,000, 2,000 a day just off of tops. And I had another homeboy named Ricky Peoples. He was down there. They had that um 6 9. I don't know if you ever heard of a bird,
Yeah, that was
but
in the Brewster Project,
yeah,
yeah, I heard of that.
yeah, that was Ricky Peoples and them, him and his brother Billy. They had that blow down there, and then Reg George and them, they had a blow, and then I had mine. And I've been getting $30,000 out the projects when shit was unheard of. Me and my homeboy Ricky, Raymond Peoples, he had a crew and I had a crew. When we first started selling that heroin, we was getting $5,500 a day, and at that time, that was considered a lot of money. Until I went into the projects,
Right.
and I started getting 30,000 a day. So from the Brewster, the Jeffries, the East Side, Martindale, and Monterey and Dexter, that's how it came about. I started making $100,000 a day. I had other spots like that. I'm selling in Flint, Michigan, Pontiac, Michigan, Grand Rapids, Michigan, anywhere, because they was coming to Detroit to buy my product. And the thing what I was known for, Bird, I kept product and I always kept it, no matter what. I don't smoke, drink, and get high. So when guys was getting high, staying up at night, they wouldn't open up. So people, when they came on Martindale, they came on Dexter. They know my blow up and running.
Right.
You know, I'm all business when it come to getting money. I stay laser focused, man. You know, I'm serious about getting that money, man. I'm gonna count me some money. I'm gonna touch some paper. So and the thing that made me and my people stand out, we was all dependable, man. You know, them guys got up like soldiers, man. You know, Keith Arm would crack the whip. He'd knock the shit out of a motherfucker. They didn't get up and be at them spots on time, you know.
Right.
So I was a real general, you know, a general. He just sat back, he lays things out, and other people carry it out. You know, I got another friend named Timmy Peoples, and we call him Slim. And Slim was going to college, and really Raymond and his brother really didn't want him in the game. But Slim real smart, so I took him under my wing. And you can ask him, he'll tell you the same thing I'm telling you. And I gave Slim, I put him on top of collecting the money because he's a real dependable people. And after that, I just made him my tenant. He was like my right hand man. Even when I went on the run for the feds, um, he used to send me 50,000 a week. I just turned everything over to him. He was sending me 50,000 a week when I'm staying in Arizona. So, and plus, I I trusted him to go to see S Man. S Man was my plug, and S Man liked the Slim. You know, Slim was nonviolent. I was the opposite. So I could send him places, and people rather deal with Slim than me. I don't know why, but anyway, to make a long story short, I'm all business though. You know, the only time that Bush Jones would come out with me, I felt like if somebody crossed me or if somebody had ill intentions towards me, you know, they started it with me, I'm gonna finish it because I don't have a cutoff switch.
Question, Butch.
Somebody calls me back. Yeah,
Question. I just wanna. I know you. I have a good question because I know you're notorious and you know, like you say, you finish it. What's more important, loyalty or fear?
loyalty to me.
Can you
You
elaborate
know,
on that a little more? Why you pick
I,
loyalty?
because I'm loyal. You know, people I grew up with, I'm still friends, still loyal to the J. You know, me and Joe Smelly was friends for 50 years. You know, I was loyal to him. He passed away. He got COVID and he died. Fat George, this is the guy that taught me how to gamble. He taught me how to cheat to keep the cheat up off me. So if I'm gambling somebody, I could recognize when they cheating. I grew up around a bunch of guys that was well advanced in what they did. So it's like me and Little G, we friends. They off of Finkel. You know, me and Big G, we friends. These people that I've been friends with for a long, long time. And if you ask them, they'll tell you, you know, I do everything big, man. Yeah, I ain't from Texas, but I do everything like I'm from Texas. I do it big, man. You know,
For sure, for sure. So I know. Yeah, go ahead and ask a question.
Hey, how you doing? What's up, the guy? You all right?
hey, Magic,
I just want to know what makes you happy.
well, a couple things make me happy. I I got a girl in my life that so
You take your time. I'm sorry. You take your time.
that was good. I told you I be emotional because I wear my feelings on my shoulders when I care about somebody, you know. And my family make me happy, man. You know, without family, you ain't nothing, man. Anybody can do this and that, but to be a real man when you have kids and shit, you know, I love family. I get that from my mother because I take after my mother. You know, I'm gonna tell you something, man, that people don't know. The mother is the first teacher. You
Correct.
know, I
Correct.
remember when I first went to school, my first day at kindergarten, she held my hand.
Mhm. Take your time.
And I can't help it.
But you know,
Yeah, so that's what make me happy, man.
but you know one thing I noticed when I was talking to you and everything, which I got a lot of respect for you though. I got so much respect for you.
Same here, Magic. You like my brother.
I got so much respect for you that I can feel the pains that you feel just out of just I don't want to start crying. I've been start crying. I don't want to turn this into nothing. You know what I'm saying? But man,
Yeah, yeah.
you're a good guy, man. I swear to God, I love you. You're a good guy, you know. And I wonder how you control what you did. You never got high off nothing. The average guy been to turned everything.
No. No, what happened was I'm gonna tell you, you know, I use things, signs and symbols, and things happen in my life for a reason. I never drunk because my mother, she had an alcohol problem. And I guess this happened in my life, so I didn't drink. Um, my sister got high and my brother got high and drunk. You know, that's why he got killed in the stick up. And my father was he used to drink. When him and my mother, when they was drinking, they would fight all the time, you know, and it just turned me against drink. I never wanted to drink. And smoking, I had asthma as a kid. So I never smoked nothing. And then at that particular time, when I was about 14 or 13, I started working for Joe Smelly. And he didn't get high. He drunk, but he didn't get high. And I admired that about him. And Milwaukee Jack didn't do nothing. He smoked cigarettes, but other than that, he didn't get high neither. And I admired that. I had another friend named Block. Block, we had the same birthday, and that's why I took a liking to him. And then he was an Aries. I'm an Aries. I respond to logic. If it don't make sense to me, I don't respond to it. If you try to tell me two and two is five, I ain't gonna respond to it. You know. So, but yeah, that's why I ain't never smoke or get high, nothing. Because things in my life that had happened to me, it just signs and symbols with me. You know, and my sister, when I first went to work for her, she was the hardest motherfucking bitch that I knew. And I bullshit. She didn't play no games with me. And she actually scared me, man. She said, if I ever catch you trying to get high, I'll kill you in your sleep. and and I believed her because she didn't beat me up a many a times, for talking smart to her. She fought like a man, She had five brothers and she was the oldest and she didn't play no games. I was about 10 years old and a nigga ran me home from school. And so she happened to be on the front porch and she say, what the fuck is going on? What is you doing? I said, this guy Pierre, he gonna beat me up. She said, you better get your motherfucking ass back out there and fight him, and you better keep swinging until you can't swing no more. And she said, if you don't fight him, I'm gonna fuck you up, you know. And I went out there, and the dude Pierre beat me up. But she was like, look, they ain't gonna fuck with you no more because they know you gonna fight. So you never let a motherfucker chase you home. And since then, I ain't never let a motherfucker chase me home, man. I'm gonna keep swinging till I can't swing no more.
That's right, for sure.
Hey, Butch, I wanted to just ask a question that when I was out today doing trunk or treat, I was down there on 75 and um Russell today, and it's a lot of people know you from down that way from the brewski,
Yeah,
the digs,
yeah,
and all that. And the first question, the person when I said, well, I gotta go do an interview, and it's like, who you finna go do an interview? I said, I'm finna go do an interview with that guy. And they's like,
yeah.
who's that guy? I said, man, Butch John. They were so shocked because they didn't know you was home. And I was like, yeah, man, Butch been home, man. I kicked it with him a couple of times. He laying his foundation out. He ain't on no folly. He ain't coming out here to be no dog, no none of that. He coming to do the right thing. And I told the guy, I said, man, I've been talking to him, man. He's straight up. He's serious about coming to these streets to do the right thing. I don't think it's no folly nowhere in him. But when I
Yeah.
told him that, he told me to tell his name was Amp. He,
Okay.
he told me to tell you he miss you and he love you.
Hmm.
Keep your head up. And he doing all right. I don't know if you know who Amp is, but he was from the
Yeah,
too.
and my man.
Yeah, he told me to tell you what's
Yeah.
up. And everybody was like, man, Butch. I said, yeah, man, Butch been laying back, man. I said, I'm the first guy that's finna give him his interview. And it's like, man, where? I said, man, look, it's private. We ain't doing all that. It's his time to shine. But Amp did tell you hello and what's up. And he hope to see you in the future.
Okay, that's good. The thing about me, man, I'm gonna be honest with you. Everybody got a Bush Jones story.
Right,
It ain't no if they know me, they got a Bush Jones story because um I was the type of person, man. I used to be 20, 30 people waiting at my mama's house in the morning needing favors. People was, if I ate bird, I wanted everybody to eat. You
right,
know,
right.
I ain't never been a selfish type of dude. If I'm shining, I want you to shine. And so I ain't never had no complexes or nothing like that. You know, I know how to take orders because I know how to give orders.
That's right.
And I don't mind nobody using me. I just don't let them misuse me.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So I'm that type of dude. Like I told you, good. I didn't had good people in my life that showed it to me right. That showed me the game right. And I was able to take that and take it all the way to the max. Make it do what it do. And that's why I'm the type of person. They give me a good product, I'm gonna make it do what it do, man. And not stand behind whatever I do. I always stand on business. My word is my bond. If I tell you I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna do it, man. And I don't know why I'm like that, but I just take after my mother, and I know I got a good heart and a big heart. And that's why I tell you, when somebody's my friend, they my friend. I got another guy named John Muhammad. He out there in L.A. and me and him been friends since I was about 10 years old, and we still friends. When I came home, he was so glad to see me. All while I was doing them 25 years, he kept money in my account. You know, he wanted me to come out there in California and stay with him, but I don't know nobody but him out there, and my family. My family is here, and I wanted to be with my family. You know.
So to this guy right here to my left, Magic, man. When Magic called me the other day, Butch, seriously,
Yeah.
first thing that came to my mind, I say Magic must got something for me.
Mm-hmm.
And when I called him, he was like, "Man, listen, I got something on the floor with Butch Jones. Butch Jones wants you to interview him." And I ain't hold him up. I said, "Give me 10 minutes.
Right there.
I'll be to your house."
Stand on the spot.
And I want to thank this guy here, man, next to me, man, because like I said, I've been knowing Magic since I was about 14. Magic was clowning before I even came on the scene. He was showing out doing his thing. Can I talk about it?
Yeah, you talk about it.
Magic, Magic encouraged me to do the shit I was doing, getting money.
Yeah.
And I'm talking about a Magic stage shop. I'm talking about tall. I ain't on that puffy shit, but this nigga was sharp. The nigga was looking good. The nigga kept, can I say it?
Yeah, man.
The nigga kept bitches. He kept the baddest hoes with him. And I was like, damn, man. And you know me, by me being 14, I'm fuck with them boys off Dexter, but it's not like how Magic was doing it. And then I really got the pleasure to meet you, because like I told you, when I really stepped off the porch, y'all was on y'all way to penitentiary, or you was already in penitentiary. So I caught the little ends of Pelt, Shelton, Johnny Griffin, all them boy Head, Big 50, all them boys. I met all them guys. So,
Right.
but this guy here next to me, man, he encouraged me to live, encouraged me to do what I'm doing. And I think, cause when he called me, he said, "Man, look, Butch." I said, "Man, give me 10 minutes." I think I jumped in the shower, in and out. I don't even think I dried off.
Johnny on the spot.
And man, like I say, man, it's my pleasure to really be sitting in front of this.
It's neutral, Bird, and like I told him, I talk to Magic every day.
Right.
Magic like my brother. So P Gang, I tell Magic, I say, man, every day ain't the same. I got that saying from Jack. You know, Jack used to tell me, man, he say, man, every day ain't the same. Be days he didn't have no money. He come by, put 10,000 in his pocket. Because every time I was always asking, you got any money? Because he was a gambler. Jack can gamble off millions of dollars. He done been a millionaire 2, 3 times. So anyway, I talk to Magic every day. He'll tell you, everything I've been going through, he done been there right there with me.
Mm.
I love you, my guy, man. I just be appreciating what I'm like you though, because you know what I'm saying? They say birds and feathers flock together, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it could be a million people, and then you say like you take a truck or something, you put all kind of animals in the back of a truck, and you empty the truck out, A duck not gonna hang with a chicken not gonna hang with a duck.
Mm-hmm.
Everything gonna find their kind eventually. And that's how life is, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You tell me good things every day. You told me one thing about life. You was telling me about the empty plate, gonna continue to be empty plate till somebody's on the plate, then it be.
Now, this is what I told you, Magic. I said a small fish be the empty dish. You understand what I'm saying? And I also told you you ain't gotta be Rockefeller to help a fella. See, I got some people that I'm not gonna mention their name, but I done did things for them and they feel like they gotta have $1 million or something to return that favor that I did. But no, it's not like that. And I got another homeboy named Leroy, and he talks to the minister every day for me. Me and the minister is the best friends. So anyway, I had to tell Leroy. I said, tell my other friend, you ain't got to be Rockefeller to help a fella. And you know, when you need help, you need help. And it ain't no 2, 3 ways about it. I'm a real nigga, man. You know, and then been many people that came to me when I was on top. They came to me. You're not gonna leave broke. I'm gonna put some paper. I'm gonna put some paper in your pocket, man. And you know, I'm gonna help you with your bills, whatever you need to do to get on your feet. Cause you never know when you're on top, when you fall and you're on the bottom, when you might need help. You understand what I'm saying? So, you know, like I told you, I was taught by the best. You know, um, also, I want to say I got another friend. Me and him was brothers for real. Akbar, me and his mama, his mother, and my mother was best friends, and we've been friends for over 50 years. You know, I say all my friends. I have long relationships with people that's to consider my friends, and you know I don't have that many friends, but when I consider them my friends, that's what it is, you know. And all while I was gone, I would call Akbar, and he kept money. He kept money on my books. When he would go to the table and they was hooking up, he said, "Man, we're gonna cut something out for the guy." That's what he called me. He calls me the guy, you know. But anyway, I love him to death, and it ain't nothing I wouldn't do for him. And when I make some money, he gonna make some money. Whatever I do, you know, we doing it together. He got deals up that they shopping for me, and he in charge of it for me because when he speak, he's speaking for me. You know, him and my son Momo, which I love to death, and I tell Momo all the time. I said, Momo, every day is the same, man. You know, you might wake up today, you don't have no money, but you never know what tomorrow gonna bring. And I'm a true believer in that, you know.
That's a true saying, Butch.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
That's a true saying. You know, and I thank God that I'm doing what I'm doing, you know, in a different light.
Okay. Yeah, I heard you, Bert.
Can I say something real quick?
Yeah, Rock, you say whatever you need to say, but we're on the same team, Rock.
For sure. You know, I'm really, I'm blessed by the Most High to be surrounded by some good OGs.
Yeah.
I ain't old.
O stands for original. You know what I'm saying? Not old. It stands for original. You know, I'm 42. You know what I'm saying? So I'm at that age where I can connect with the young and I connect with the older. We can kind of have similar experiences because I grew up in technology, so I can kind of fuck with the technology. At the same time, I still do the old school because I was around in the 80s and 90s. So you know what I mean? But it's like you get to that age where you be like, okay, you really want to honor your OGs because they have like wisdom in them. You know, you guys are walking textbooks. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
a lot of these young, you know what I'm saying, now they call them YNs, which I think we need to get rid of that word because it's been a bad look on young folks because it's a lot of smart young people. You know what I'm saying? And they really need OGs. They really need us. You know what I mean?
That's right.
And
Yeah, and I believe in that.
what do you got to say to to the youngins, the youth. You know what I mean? Because they may heard of you, they may have looked it up, they may have seen, documentaries, and there's plenty of documentaries of you and stuff like that. And if you go by them documentaries, you were ruthless. You know what I'm saying? He was like, what do you have to say to the youth that just getting to know you?
It was I had to do what I had to do at that particular time because people in Detroit they had geographical things. If you was from the west side, you can't go to the east side. Or at that particular time, I'm speaking on the projects. When I went down to the projects, they felt like I'm from Dexter because I wear Dexter on my shoulder. You know, I'm Dexter. I'm a Dexter boy for real. So anyway, when I went down there, they was like, "Man, you from Dexter? You can't come down here." I said, "Man, I'm from Detroit. I'm going here where I want to go in Detroit." So when they came to me like that, it was just I reacted. You know, when they would act and I would react. So the Butch Jones would come out. I mean, that's the best way I could describe it. But I'm not on that tip now. You know, because I ain't in the streets. I'm trying to do things positive and I'm gonna do something positive. It ain't no trying, you know. And what I want to say to these young rappers and these guys that's out here, you know, everybody doing their thing. I don't knock what you do. I don't care. You know, the thing is, I just want you to think about it, and we need to come together. These guys out here shooting people just because I looked at your girl. You know, they beefing. You understand? Shit like that. You know, but the thing is, I need these guys to come together. Let's come together. You know, and man, we can be bigger than US still, man. Detroit can be so powerful, so big, man. We pool this money together, man. We can do some shit that never been did before. I'm gonna tell you something about me that you probably don't know, Rock. Everybody that fucks with me, you gonna get money. Whether you get money or not, you gonna get money, man. And that's just how I am, man. I just needed the opportunity and I'ma shine. I'ma show up and show out, man. You know, always do my part, always carry my weight and do what's need to be did. Right now I'm trying to be here for my man S man, because he's sick. You know.
Let it go, Bush. You gotta let it rip, baby. You know, Butch, listen, man. You know, me and you stayed on the phone and we talked. You got to cry, man, because your pain is real. Your pain is love.
That's right.
And you know, and I'm gonna tell you, man, like, when I was just down there passing out the trunk or treat, man, I
Yeah,
didn't hear none of them guys, man. I was kicking it. I didn't hear
yeah.
nobody say nothing bad about you, man. All them guys know you. They know who you are. They stand with you. They glad you home. And first thing that happened, what are you coming out here to do? I say, just stay tuned. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
I say from me and him talking, he might be jumping into this movie business.
I love it. I've been trying to get into the movie, but I'm gonna tell you a real true story. Um, you heard Don King before, you know, and so okay then. They came to me with this movie deal back in the '80s. They came to me and Raymond, and it was Don King and Jesse Jackson, and this other lady, I can't think of her name right now. She's I think I can't think of her name right now. But anyway, they come to me with this movie deal, and we was gonna put this money up. Here. We came. They came to me with this movie deal. They had some scripts. I had two, three lawyers back at this time. This lawyer here I had. Um, he knew them. So we had a meeting down there at Judge Bell. He used to be a judge and he became a lawyer. So okay, to make a long story short, we was trying to get in the movie deal because I wanted to get out of the drug game. I was way ahead of my time. like I say, this had to be shit 1980. Yeah, it was 79 or 1980. And I had my first $1 million, and that's what I wanted to do with my money. I wanted to invest it in the movie business, because I was telling Raymond, I said, if we get into the movie business, we ain't never got to sell drugs a day in our life. So, but what happened was the people in Warner Brothers Pictures, that's who they was shopping this deal with. Um, some kind of way they found out that I was under federal investigation, and the FBI went, because they had caught feelings about me and Raymond. So they went to see the people that was trying to broker the deal with Judge Bell, and they spooked them people. They didn't want to have nothing to do with me because I was selling drugs and I was under federal investigation. So from that point there, after they had blocked me, I was I was dead in Hollywood as far as that was concerned, because wasn't nobody really making no movies in Detroit like Bird do, you know. But like I say, I was way ahead of my time, and that's why I never got into the movie business. So then I tried to get into the cable business. Hey man, I'm always trying to touch me some money, man. So they didn't have cable in Detroit at that particular time, and the dude Barton Taylor, he ended up getting a deal from from the mayor, from Coleman Young, you know. So like I say, I always been trying to better myself and better my situation, because when you know better, you do better, you know. And like I say, I done been around a lot of extremely smart people, man, you know. But when the feds get involved, because like I said, they had caught feelings about me. They say, this nigga got to go. I had did so much in Detroit. They was mad at me, man. You know, and I hadn't seen nobody. They had never let none of the mafia people here face the death penalty. You know, John DeLorean, when they gave him a $5 million bond, they had him on camera talking about selling cocaine and everything. I catch the indictment. They had my bond at 10 million. You understand what I'm saying? And it always been hard for me, but I always weathered the storm. You know, when they gave me that 30 years, everybody had counted me out and shit like that. They tried to drown me. You can't drown a shark, man. You know, I kept it moving, man. You know, like I say, I was in the fair system. They said, that's that boy from Detroit. You know, I played chess and beat everybody I played. Man, matter of fact, and this is an honest to God's true story. My co-defendant Raymond Candy will tell you, he had he was my sponsor. I was going around the world playing chess, and he was my sponsor. You know, he always had my back, always had my best interest. You know, and I love him like a brother, like me and him was blood brothers. You know, but anyway, yeah, man, I did that in the Fed system. A lot of guys, they took a liking to me all over the Fed system. Guys from California, Chicago, St. Louis, New York, all over the Fed system, Atlanta, Georgia. You know, I got them guys, they love me, man. You know, so I had a good time in the Fed system, and it wasn't what the Feds thought it was gonna be. You know, I knew how to jail, you know what I'm saying? And it was the same way when I was on the streets. You give me a sack and a gat, I'm gonna make it happen, man. I don't care where you drop me off at.
Hold
You
up,
know,
Butch. Hold up, Butch.
I'm
What you
I'm
call
gonna
it,
make
Butch?
you do with it too. I'm a,
What you
you
call
know,
it, Butch?
a sack and a gat.
Look, they call that now the starter kit, right?
That's right. That's right.
Okay, Butch. Now we got some more stuff coming at you, bed. Like, you know, I talked to Kurt a couple of times trying to get him to do a movie deal with me. He said, Bird, I don't want no part of it, so I left it like that. Where's you and your feelings at for Kurt? How you and Kurt?
Man, I love Kurt. Kurt was always like my son, man. You know, when I took Kurt in, he was probably about 14 to 15 years old. And I love Kurt still to the day. I haven't talked to him since I've been home and everything, but I ain't got nothing but love in my heart for Kurt because I felt they did him wrong, man. They gave Kurt a 20-year sentence for something he didn't even do. And the newspaper was said that he had threatened the mayor or somebody at this particular time. This is honest God. I'm not trying to knock Kurt or nothing like that, but he couldn't even spell or read at this particular time. And they tried to say this man had wrote a note and something saying that he had threatened the mayor, and it was all just false. It was just fake news, you
Right.
know. And they gave Kurt a 20-year sentence for something he actually didn't do, But Kurt stayed with me. He was my man. He'll tell you, I ain't never had a problem with him. I never heard him say nothing bad about me. I don't know how he feel about me now, but all while he was doing that bit, I had been jailing too. Other than that, I would have been up there to see him like I used to go see James Butler, Butchie. All us grew up on Martindale together. But anyway, man, yeah, I ain't got nothing but love for Kurt, man.
That's what's up, man. Kurt out here doing his thing. He holding the fort down. I love Kurt. I love Kurt, man.
Hey, you still on there?
Yeah, I'm here. We here.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah. So when you do talk to Kurt, you just let him know I ain't got nothing but love for him. I wish him well, wish him the best, and 'cause I'm gonna be all right.
Right. And he doing every time, we might be here and there, we bump into each other, he doing his thing. He holding the streets down. I love what he doing. That's my
Yeah, yeah,
that's my guy, man. We always bump into each other somewhere. Far as
yeah,
his type of work he doing, I love that.
yeah.
Um,
Well, I wish him well, man. Like I said, I ain't got nothing but love for him.
and you know, I just like just holding the streets down for the righteous now. You know what I'm saying? I ain't for all that going back and forth. I don't play the street.
Yeah, me neither.
Niggas
Me neither.
call me scared or whatever. I try to be off the streets at least by 7 o'clock because I know
Yeah,
what's out there. And then when you my age, you ain't got time to be out there anyway. I ain't chasing nothing no more. I ain't chasing these broads. I ain't chasing these pistols. I ain't chasing no dope. I ain't doing nothing. I bring my fat butt up in steps, be tired when I sit down, get my breath, and then it's on and popping. Get
yeah,
in the shower, lock my house down. Now, if you come to the house showing out, that's on you. I don't know what, but it is.
yeah, yeah.
But
Listen, if you ever talk to our bar, he'll tell you, man. When it came 6 o'clock, I was off the streets because I'm a morning person. I get up in the morning, take care of my business, But 6 o'clock, when the streets lights come on, they get it. Man, I'm gone. I ain't did everything I need to do. I'm getting ready for tomorrow because, like I say, I go to bed with things on my mind and I wake up with things on my mind. And I was the same way, Bird. He'll tell you, like I tell you, it's a lot of people. If you talk to them, they gonna tell you about me because I'm the same way. I ain't changed. When I was over there on Monterey, that neighborhood has stayed the same for 30 years, man. You know, and I'm old school. Like I told you, when I'm in somebody's corner, I'm in their corner all the way, man. And they ain't gonna make them like me no more.
no, it's what, man. I'm gonna tell you, man. And me and Magic, matter of fact, we talked about this the other day. Um,
Uh-huh.
you know, it's crazy because when I got in the streets, I started 11, 12 pumping people gas, and we talked about gas and go on the boulevard back in the day.
That's right.
And I was, this how I ended up meeting guys just from being at that gas and go pumping people gas. I met Horseneck, I met Glory, I met man, I met all them guys,
Yes, yeah.
Johnny Griffin, all the boys we talked about, I met, going down there, meeting the people that I was dealing with, and I told you, like, when I came through the porch, I jumped off of it, hustling gas, then I met Greg and all them guys started stumping the pack, putting push on it, putting that weed in it, and then I grew to other stuff, and now I'm here today to still say I thank God for keeping me here. And just when I look back over my life, like I said, if it wasn't for you putting the streets like it is, I probably would have stayed in school or whatever. But when I seen them boys with them nanny ghosts and that Max Julian and all that, I was like,
Yeah.
shit. I remember the first time I went to the mall by myself. I went to the mall. I had $300. I went and $100 got everything I need because I never forget. I was like, man, because at my age you would never think $500-600 a little got me carrying that type of money. And I went to the mall. I went and got me some Adidas. I went and got me an Adidas shirt, and I went and got me a Levi. And I was trying to find me the belt that say Iceberg on it. Remember the belt they put on it, put your initials in
Yeah,
it?
yeah,
I
yeah.
couldn't find it. But back then, it was the thing. You wasn't wearing no top tens and let the police cut the tongue off you. You wasn't nothing.
Right.
I remember all them days, when Officer Red and I can't think of the female name from the 10th precinct. What was her name, Butch? The chick used to jump on people.
I can't think of who it
Officer
is
Williams and all them,
because
them dogs
it
coming up with
it's
them. They
been
got
it been
caught
so
killing
long.
somebody.
It been so long ago. I probably got to Google it. But that was the precinct. I hadn't been at 10th precinct so many times. It wasn't even the first time I got caught driving with no license, and the man said, "Man, I pulled you over because you had your foot on the brakes," and that's how we knew you didn't know what you was doing. And ever since then, I had never had no driving license. I was no ID, but hey man, listen. I was running from the police when they called it fleeing and eluding. When I used to do it, it wasn't nothing but $50. Now it's a felony, if you do that. But I used to. They pulled me over. Now, I run off on that motherfucking ass. I hit a couple corners, get that gat up off me, and well, they take me to 10th precinct, man. Then so yeah. They don't have them kind of precincts like that no more. They don't even have 1300 Bovian no more.
Yeah,
So
Butch, I got a movie I'm finna do about 1300 bucks. I got a cold piece, man. It's coming out. Well, I'm gonna start shooting in the springtime because it's a spring police show, and I came up with that name 1300 Bovian, and it's gonna be a
oh
hell of
man.
a show, man.
Yeah, that's gonna be a winner.
I'm just
That's gonna be a winner.
I'm just waiting my turn. I told you I got um the best lady that in my book, and I stand on that, Belinda, man. She loved me to death.
Yeah.
And she wrote it, man, and she put her foot in it. I outlined it, she took it from me, and she did what she did. And
Mm-hmm.
I got, that's right there. That's gonna be a cold show.
Yeah.
1300 Bowman Police Show in Detroit, Michigan. I'm dropping it this man's bird. So we finna do our thing on that, man.
I'm be in that thing.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
and
That was right.
and we finna do it, man. But like I said, let's get back to you though. But another thing, what's like? I know for me, looking at your podcast show, I know you and Nut. YBI Nut. He doing the movie and everything. Where's y'all relationship at to this day?
Well, I wish Nut the best. You know, it ain't me and him ain't never had no dealings. He out my neighborhood and things like that. He worked it for another crew. He worked it for Wonderful Wayne. You know what I'm saying? And the thing is, whatever he doing, that's what he doing. It don't have nothing to do with me. You know. And I just wish him the best. And I hope he's successful whatever he doing. But it don't have nothing to do with me. You know, and whatever he doing, that's what he doing. But like I say, my shit documented. You know, um, my shit the truth, man. You know what I'm saying? I just stayed up at night, man, count that paper, man. And like I told you, Bird, I had a currency counter when they was calling them money counters. But when I was buying them, they was called currency counters. And I stay up at night, I could still hear it in my head. You know, that motherfucking money counter, man. It stop, man. Then you wrap up 1,000. And you do it again. You wrap up another 1,000, man. You know, so and the ones I used to use the ones to buy um, envelopes, shit like that, misdemeanor shit, to pay bills and stuff, you know. And but that other money, man, I'm stacking it, man. You know, like I said, I had fun, man. I lived an extra good life, man. You know, and man, I could talk to you for days, Bird, about some of the shit that I done did, man. Shit that I done experienced, man. And that's the thing about me, man. I done experienced everything. That's why all my shit documented. And they gotta, you're not gonna believe this shit. I'm gonna let the world know. They got 2 or 3 rooms down at the federal building. Down at the federal building. It's called the Butch Jones room. Ain't nothing in there but boxes and boxes. All the times I done been investigated, I didn't have every indictment they didn't have. This was something else you didn't know. I done been indicted for CCE. It's one of the highest narcotic crimes you can ever have. I done been indicted for it twice. Usually when they indict you for CCE the first time, it knock you out the box. But I don't have no quit in me. So at that particular time, soon as I came home, and Jack put me on, I ain't looked back. I had never left the game. You understand what I'm saying? But I didn't have RICO indictments, tax indictments, um, 2, 3 conspiracy indictments. Um, like I say, I had a 5 count indictment in front of Judge Combs. I don't know if he's still alive right now, but they gave me 5 murder counts and indicted me for it. And he was such a good judge, he dismissed all 5 counts against me because the government thought they was going to draw me in. They said, we're going to get this motherfucker a life sentence off these RICO counts. And I end up beating the shit, you know. I've been, I done had God on my side so many times, man, and he got me where I'm supposed to be at right now, so I thank God all the time, man, you know, and that because I'm gonna be honest with y'all, even before I was born, I was wrapped up in prayer because my mama used to tell me, he said we used to always pray that I have a healthy baby and that you be all right. And she said you want a God's child. I never forget what my mother used to tell me, because I tell you, your mother is your first teacher. And
Right.
she taught me so much. And she taught me about helping people that needed help. And she used to work at the church and he used to pass out dinners and stuff like that. But and she never turned you down. If you was hungry and you came by Mama Jones's house, oh, you gonna get something to eat. You best believe that you gonna get something to eat. She share all her food. She didn't have no problems with that, and I take after her. You know.
Butch, I got another question for you.
Hmm.
Was was Paul down with you? Paul from the
Who?
big Paul Bunyan.
Oh yeah, Paul Bunny was my man.
Okay.
Yes, he was down with me.
If I'm mistaken, I think Paul was the first young guy that got caught that money in that cab. Is that correct?
I don't know if it was him or my nephew. You know, but yeah, he did get caught with some money in the cab.
Yeah.
So we should use some cabs every morning
Yeah.
to transport us.
Yeah, I remember that man because I used to, like I say, he stayed right behind me on the other side of Gigi and Larry Random on the other side, and we used to walk over there and look up at the youth home to see him.
Yeah.
So that's how I knew that situation. And
I'm glad you mentioned G Ryder's a friend of mine.
oh
I
yeah,
told you I don't have that many friends. You could tell you I used to talk to him, and like I say, he's a friend of mine.
right, right,
I got a lot of friends all through Detroit, Bird, and people people to tell you because I I help so many people, and I just look at it, Doug. I was glad I was in position to help a person. You know, ain't no big eye little you with me. You know, so that's why they call me the guy. You know, and I'm just being honest with you because I make shit happen, man. When I want something to pop off, it's gonna pop off. You know,
right.
and if you need me, you in trouble or whatever. I ain't got people's lawyers, um, houses somewhere to stay, all kind of shit. Bert, shit that I don't even think about no more. I just know I was glad to do it. Glad I was in that position to do it. You
Right.
know, I was the first real godfather of Dexter. You know, and people came to me with all kind of problems, and I did my best, and I always did it from the heart with no nothing in looking for a return or nothing like that. I had no hidden agenda. Or nothing. I'm just telling you about me, you know, and that's why I'm the type of person I am today. I got them old principles about me. When you give a person your word, you try to stick with it. And that's why when I gave you my word, I was coming on this podcast. That's what it is, man. And
Thank you, brother.
I appreciate you giving me that opportunity, and I appreciate everything about you and what you stand for. And I believe in birth. I told you last night, didn't I? I said, man, we're gonna be friends for 50 years.
Yeah, you
You
said, yeah.
know. Now, am I lying,
Yeah,
Bert?
you told me that last night. You sure did.
Yeah.
You sure
That's the
did.
type of person I am, man.
And
When
this
I'm with you, man.
and it shows was because you could feel the fear, the love, the companion in your heart to get out here and do these streets right. And
Yeah.
you probably right. A lot of people did probably count you out
Yeah.
because
That's
they don't see the real Butch. They don't see the new Butch. They don't see the new guy.
right. And like I tell you, man, I cry to you before I lie to you.
Right,
You understand what I'm saying? Because I'm gonna keep it 100, keep it buck 50, man.
right,
We got to get these young guys. We got to get them off the streets. We got to get them guns, man. They just been going buck while they growing up, man, and they throwing their life away. I got 44 years of incarceration under my belt. I'm not proud of it, but I think it happened in my life, so I could tell that story to let a person know they don't want to have to go through what I had to go through. you know. So I just want to do shit right, and I just need a little help. And once it happens, man, it's gonna happen. I told you, Bird, we're gonna be bigger than U.S. Steel.
Appreciate it. Yes.
You know, we appreciate you, man. Wrap this one up, Butch, and we thank you, man, for coming on Bird Talk TV. We'll come back for about 15 minutes. We're gonna take a recess. And like I said, we love you, man. And this will be on YouTube real soon, sometime before 4 o'clock tomorrow.
Make sure YouTubers subscribe. Make sure you subscribe.
Yeah, tell the
hit that bell.
Hit that bell and let's blow this thing up, man, because we got the legend Butch Jones on this show doing this thing with us with Bird TV, and we just love it. We thank you.
Before I go, Bird, I just want everybody to know what YBI stands for, and it's your blessing is. That's what your blessing is. You know, this is a new version. You know, young boys new version is your blessing is. You know, when you got God in your life, keep God first. All things possible, and they tell you that in Luke 47. You know, when you pray, 2 or 3 come together in His name, He's in the presence of them.
That's right. That's right.
So yeah, that's what it stands for. Your blessing is.
Your
Your blessing.